Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, and we are back on our multiple prisoner category transfer island facility for a few reasons. We spent many episodes and over 21 hours playing and building and managing this thing. We then did some escape and extreme testing, so overall I was quite happy with the series and what we managed to get out of it towards the end, but there was a couple of omissions and a couple of things that I wanted to make this video about. Firstly, as I said, there was some errors in the design and build, and I wanted to just go back and change those and make sure everything was as close to complete and perfect as we could get it. So I'll run through those changes and things that I fixed later on. Most of those were directly from comments in the last couple of episodes of the build series, so that's obviously helped out a lot. Secondly, I wanted to share the save file, so links in the description if you want to go and grab that, but I'll mention that later on. And then finally, I thought for a bit of fun we'll take a bit of a 3D tour. So probably quite a short video, but I think it is worthy of creation. Either way, let's go ahead and I'll run through some of the things that I've altered, changed and fixed. Now, some of these errors were, well, they ranged from minor to pretty much glaring omissions. So things like flooring, there was a bit of flooring missing in this workshop here. There was one down near the library there, and the odd bit around the place, as well as like no walkway around the death row island. So I thought we'd go ahead and do all of that. So I went and had a pass and checked that. I mean, there may be still, the odd one or two bits of flooring that are missing or wrong, but we're not changing it now. It's close to complete as I think we're going to manage to get. Also, things like the walls, the windows here on the rusty wall on the outside of the medium cells, they weren't actually placed in from around this area because I either didn't clone it or I just forgot to place them. But either way, they are now in, so all of these cells are now all the same grading. Also, these cells at the top here didn't have hot water. I simply didn't put in the hot water pipe, which obviously, as you can see now, is in, so these all have the same grading, they all have hot water, so that's pretty good. Also, on the left hand side where we have our low risk cells, there was a couple of windows I think here that I just forgot to put in or weren't put in for any reason. Whatever reason that may be, I don't know, but either way, that's now fixed. And also, the soft pillows, only the one on the bottom was cloned correctly. Now, when I use the clone tool and clone this up, it actually bought them because I looked over in our storage, which I've went ahead and, believe it or not, cleaned some up. There's still a lot of rubbish in there, but it's a lot cleaner than it was before. And all the pillows were sitting in boxes here, however, they hadn't been placed, so the clone tool just didn't want to do that, apparently. So I've went ahead and placed all of those in. I've went ahead and done a full pass on the patrols, so we've got more armed guards up here, we've got a few extra patrols around here, and actually fewer patrols in the main island here because it was just over patrolled, so I wanted to fix that and free up some guards as well. Hired the odd extra guard here and there, but nothing major. Redistributed some of the kitchen staff and the kitchen as well as the infirmary staff. I had to put the connections into these phone booths because I think it either didn't save or I forgot to put them in. I don't know which is true, but either way, fix those. Also, the door control system on the medium low risk island, we had to connect up to that door servo there because that wasn't in. Similar was true up here. This door servo wasn't connected for some reason. I assume it could have been because of the fighting here and they broke it, but I thought the connection was kept. But either way, that's now in. Also, for some reason, one of these phone booths, or maybe two of these phone booths, wasn't connected to the phone tap, so that's all sorted. Went ahead and make sure that all of the transports and deliveries are correct, which they should be, and that's pretty much the extent of the changes. Oh, I think also I had to alter some in the solitary here because it wasn't set up correctly for the different categories, but it should now be all fine. Yeah, that's all correct, and yep, that one also still doesn't save. This is just a problem, this area here. You can see we have we can actually change that to staff only as well, and that then doesn't, what, that allowed me to change it and then it didn't. I think it's because of these things here. Yes, anyway, I digress. Yeah, this bit here, for some reason, never saves, so when you load it, that'll have to be done. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, there may be a solution, but I don't know what it is. But either way, that's just something that happens. Either way, that's the main sort of changes and little additions and fixes. Like I said, most of these were taken directly from the comments on the last episode, so thank you very much if you left one of those comments. Very constructive, very helpful, much appreciated. Okay, so speaking on the save file, I know there was many requests to have the save file uploaded to Steam Workshop. I haven't done that, but I have left a direct link to the save in the video description, as well as instructions on how to install it. I did that because, well, basically I know that not everybody has the Steam version. They might have the DRM free ones, whether it be from Humble or GOG or whatever, or like legacy ones. So either way, the save file is there. Feel free to download, play, enjoy, chop, change, alter, upload. I don't really mind if people upload to Steam Workshop. The only thing I would say is if you do that, please give credit and a link to the channel in the description or with the info along with that. So by all means, just play around with it, use it, do whatever you would like with it, but just give obviously original credit to myself and the channel. And I think that's about it for those two. So finally then, let's have a quick look at this through the eyes of 3D. So we're going to go over to our extras, and then just at the bottom left here you may see a little symbol. It's very hard to actually see, and it'll depend on resolution, but if we click that, we then go into the 3D mode, which apparently is absolutely tanked the frame rate. So this is our prison in 3D, and we can see, if we zoom down, there's a lot of things that are modelled in 3D. It's not really it's not really something you can play in. I've always thought, oh yeah, it might be fun to play in 3D, but it doesn't really add anything to it, and it certainly doesn't really function correctly, because you can see the mouse pointer, I'm actually using the mouse over near the reception here, but it's actually, the mouse is for some reason over there. It depends on the perspective, so you turn the camera in, it alters that. Anyway, so we're going to have a quick look. We'll actually zoom right down. I actually want to speed up to max speed so we can get to the daytime. We can see that from this eye level here, or as low as we can go, pretty much everything is at the same height apart from the guard towers. Those are actually obviously quite higher and stick out the top there, which would make perfect sense as well. So the walls, we have obviously the deliveries here coming in, and the walls all the way around the outside, and we can see obviously just one colour of wall. It doesn't alter, but all the flooring is correct. And we have in the center here our receptions, so we have obviously all of the guards in 3D wandering around there. We have a nice 3D desk as well with the computer, and apparently a taser going off. Up here we have all of the boxes in the storage area. We have the laundry, which you can see the laundry machines, washing machines there are actually in 3D, as well as the baskets. However, it doesn't look like the ironing boards are, sadly. Over into the kitchen, and we can see that the main items in the kitchen, in fact all of the items in the kitchen I think are 3D. Yes, we've got the 3D freezers here with cabbages and potatoes in there, and some looks like streaky bacon. Don't think we've got anything else in there. No, the radiator's 3D. We have all of the 3D obviously chefs, as well as the ovens as well, and we can spin it round and we can see that we have the sinks there as well. Some of the perspective is a bit weird, and some of these heights are different and the scales are off, but at least it's working. Over into this is the staff canteen. We can see that we have our armed guard there, who is actually in 3D. We can zoom in a little bit. We can see the sort of shells on their jacket there. We'll have a quick look up the top. This is our staff room, where we have the warden not in 3D, but we have obviously people watching the TV, which is in 3D as well. But a lot of these are just 2D sprites just stuck on the floor there. And go over here and we can see that we have our deliveries and garbage. Obviously the scanner's not changed there, and you can actually see the boxes, they rotate with us as well. We've got our offices, which we do have some 3D stuff in there, but this guy's just sliding along the ground. And then obviously all of the ferry docks and things like that. We'll take a look over at the center here. We're not going to spend too much time on the cell blocks because they're all about the same. Obviously all the beds in there, which are nice, as well as the metal detectors. Over in the center we have our sort of security compound, where we have the sniper towers, and the snipers are actually at the top there, which is nice to see. Normally, or I think previously, they were just stuck down the bottom, but the height now has been corrected there. We have a 3D, looks to be a, oh, is that the water boiler? It is, but it's actually in the wrong orientation and almost sticking out the back, but at least it's in. And then we have the bleachers, which for a moment I thought they were 3D when I was looking like that, but no, they are just the standard sprites, same as all of this. This was just originally an Easter egg that was added into the game, and I don't think it was discovered until months and months after it was added. And I never truly believed it until I saw a video of it and then tried it myself, and there you go. It was just an Easter egg that they actually, in subsequent updates, they did add more models to it, but it's something that I think has just been dropped now that it's in the hands of Paradox. I assume, you know, it's just more time that they don't really need to spend on doing this, because, like I say, it is an Easter egg after all. Going over to our security wing as well as the protective custody, once again, no big surprises in there. We've got the phone booths, which are 3D as well. Should we look at the canteen, actually? So we're going to zip over to the canteen, and that actually looks pretty good. We've got our tables and our benches. We have the phone booths there. Obviously, this little toilet wing. We have the radiators right in the middle, which do look even sillier than they do in the normal mode. We've got our hot plates and serving tables over there. A couple of bins on either side, and then also, strangely, we have the, hang on, what's that supposed to be? I think that's the snack machine, but that is the standard vending machine for, I think that came in with the staff needs stuff. There is our power and water generation there, so we got our water pump, we got our capacitors around the power station, which are quite nice indeed. No no grid to seal it off, so you're going to come in, touch that, and pretty much disappear. Let's go ahead and check out the Supermax Wing then. So this will come through here into the security room, which also has some nice 3D modelled the phone taps as well as the security. Oh, that's a door control system there. No CCTV, but that is in 3D as well. But we just haven't got it in here because we haven't got the what's it called, the fog of war type stuff on. And there's our ferry going across, which obviously is your standard 2D sprite there, and we have all of the staff coming on and off, which is pretty good. All works. There's the K9 unit. You can see the dog is the dog is going in with them there, and then we have obviously our Supermax Wing as well, which has the really rubbish beds. So yeah, it's the old beds, so they're not great at all, but they do have showers in there, which is actually at the correct height as well. I mean, it's not attached to the wall, but at least it's at the correct height, so there's something. Over into the yard, nothing really a big surprise there. Obviously common room as well, which is, like I said, fairly standard. Pool tables are there, which look pretty nice as well. And then we can go into this area, which is our canteen. Obviously the one next to it as well is where we have our kitchen. So overall pretty good. I actually like them lined up that side. Looks quite decent. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the death row area and see if there's any surprises. Obviously the helipad isn't in 3D, but it's there anyway. We have our main entranceway, reception here, it comes down, more security, you can see all the patrolling up and down, and there's actually quite a number of things in here which are 3D. So this is our cell, well, one of the cells of one of 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 cells for our death row, which apparently they don't have doors on. Oh no, they do have doors on. It's just the where we were looking there. So we have our bed in the center. We have a bookshelf which is sort of floating, which is strange. Well, obviously books and Bible on there. We've got in the corner, that is our pet bird. So that's the cage there, but it's just, well, we can't see it properly. Obviously, we've got the toilet and the shower and everything else there, and a nice sort of workstation and seat there. So overall, pretty good. We've got a punching bag as well, but none of that's been modelled in 3D. And then over to the death row area where we have our chair, we have the power switch, and then all of the standard seating for the visitors and things like that. And then finally we'll have a look over at our, is it the biggest island? No, the main facility is the biggest island, but this one is certainly the newest. This is where we have apparently a lot of 3D license plates, all reading 123181. Don't know who's ordering that many, but there you are. Oh, bit of a stutter there. I think it's not really liking the size of the map in 3D. So this is our low and medium risk island, where we have obviously the visitation over here. I said visitation because we can see we've got some visitors coming down, which, oh no, they're the doctor? No, it's actually the doctor. I thought it was a visitor. Anyway, we have our security room here. No big surprises. Staff room we've seen, visitation there, and then we've got all of the extras. So we've got like the mail room, we've got the shop, we've got parole, we've got the classroom, which is fairly crowded. So you can see all of these like sort of chairs are actually in the back of the desks from the other ones, but it's no big issue. It still functions. We have our library there, as well as the chapel, which none of that is in 3D, and they seem to be sort of floating, which is interesting. Also, they all seem to turn to face... Oh no, they're actually turning to face the spiritual leader. I was wondering, because as I panned the camera around, they all seem to face that way, which was creepy. There's our infirmary, and then we have our cells as well. So these ones are the most furnished out of all of the cells. This is our low risk one. So the TV there, which is in 3D. We've got our art canvas and utensils, obviously going up, all the same there, and all functions. Interestingly, it doesn't have any windows, and I would have thought maybe we'd see some of that, but alas not. Over to the centre here, we have our common room, which we can hear the arcade going there. We've got the tables and the computers there as well. Things like our table tennis and the table football there in as well, and the standard pool table there. And then in the gym we have, well, the only thing that's 3D in here by the look of it is the weights benches, but we don't actually see the weights, we just see the actual bench. And then obviously we've got the boxing ring and the fans in the corner there just to increase the grading. And then finally we'll come over to the medium risk area. This is, again, no big surprises. We've got a nice floating detached shower head, but there you are. And then over to the back, and we can see that we have our workshop, which is pretty good. However, the scale was always off. So we have our saws and presses, and actually the carpentry table, which is good. However, you can see that the scale is well off. So this is the standard metal plate that you get in, which apparently should be fitting on each of these tables. You should actually get 4 onto the table, but you can see it's actually, it looks to be twice as big as it should be for some reason. And either way, that gets cut down to these blanks, and as the blanks get stamped, and then we make the license plate there. But that's all quite nice. And then finally power and water on the back, which, yeah, I haven't actually got all the capacitors in, which is something I didn't notice before. I'll fix that for the save that I share. Anyway, that is the island in all of its 3D glory, or maybe gory in a couple of places because of how things are floating around. But yeah, that looks to be pretty good. So overall, as I said, quite happy with the build and what we managed to achieve. As I said, quick video, really just want to show you. Mainly it was about the changes and the save file, and obviously for those interested, then we thought we'd take a nice little tour in 3D. But there we are. That has been a little bit more of Prison Architect. If you, like I said, want to download the Prison, links in the description, you can check that out and play with it. And as I said, if you want to upload it or share it around, then by all means just give original credit to myself and the channel, and put a link in any info file or wherever you upload it. Either way, hope you have enjoyed this little bit of Prison Architect. If you want to see more, then by all means let me know. If you want to suggest what we do for another series, because we will be coming back to PA at some point, but if you have any suggestions for challenges, what sort of facility you want to see, then once again pop them in the comments there. Either way, hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.